My name is Paula Adams, and I'm the instructor for LIBR 1105 for spring 2015. In this video, we will explore very briefly the Library of Congress. Right now, we're going to do a simple Google search, and we're going to put in Library of Congress to get to the web page. In the presentation that coincides with this week's lesson concerning digital libraries, the Library of Congress, there is one slide in the presentation dedicated briefly to giving you just a little bit of information about the Library of Congress. The Library of Congress does exist as brick and mortar, and if we go to the About link here, you will find information about the Library of Congress. You can also get to that link over here to the left about the library. So if you click that, I'm going to leave it up to you to read through this information concerning the library. And as you see here, this is a picture of the Library of Congress, which is located in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. This is the National Library of the United States. It is the largest cultural institution in the world. Only the second biggest library in the world or cultural institution would be the British Library located in London. A lot of good stuff here. The Library of Congress was set up in 1800, so it's been around for over 200 years. It started out as its major mission to serve Congress and provide research and documents and collect those documents and save them for our lawmakers. However, that mission has changed, and I'd like for you to read a little bit of that here when you read about the history of the library. So here is the link for the history of the library. A lot of good stuff here. There will be probably one question concerning the Library of Congress on the assignment for this week. Most importantly, I'd like for you to also visit More Than a Library. Click this link here, and you're going to get a presentation about also the Library of Congress. So if you click this link here that reads Launch Broadband Version, if you have DSL internet at home, you should be able to access
the Library of Congress, the largest library in the world, was established in 1800 to meet the research needs of Congress. While that is still our primary mission, we have expanded.
So read through the presentation concerning the history of the library, and also listen to the presentation too before you approach the assignment. But there's a lot of good stuff here. I'm going to go back to the home page here, because part of this class is not just kind of giving you and spilling out all the information, but encouraging you to explore some of these resources. This information has been made accessible to all Americans, and also just anyone around the world who'd like to look at our collections here, our cultural institutions here. Now, as I mentioned in another tutorial concerning, for example, the HathiTrust, these libraries, digital libraries, exist just as our public and brick and mortar libraries to preserve human knowledge, which is culture, which is educational, which is in whether it's a film, whether it's song, whether it's legal documents, whether it's charting and recording our history and our culture concerning art, religion, philosophy, news, sports, everything that will tell you this is what America is. So that's really important. You will find lots of collections here, so take a look at some of the videos that are listed here. There are links, for example, as far as the hours of operation. One of the things I plan to do one day as a librarian is actually go to the Library of Congress and visit the Library of Congress institution there. So look at your links here as far as visiting a library. There are different services you might want to take a look at, as well as resources and programs. They also offer a really good program concerning reading for children. That's at read.gov. Just a lot of good stuff here. For example, if we were to go into, let's see, one of my favorite collections, film. For example, if you look and see, take your time to look and see how these collections are set up, you'll get a list of featured items that have been pulled out of that collection. Down below, you'll get some of the categories for these collections. So they're really good at organizing these collections to kind of help you find and explore different resources here in this digital repository. For example, America at Work, before and after the great earthquake and fire. Let's see, ranching. So this is a cultural videos here, and I'll let you know how many items are there. The Civil Rights Project, great conversations in music. Just a lot of good stuff here. So I'd ask that you just take your time, and I bet you will find something that you didn't know before and something that you're very interested in as well. There's a lot of history here about our presidents, major events in American history, you name it. You can also search, and you'll find this on the Library of Congress homepage. You can search by collection here. So if you click this, you can search for audio recordings, books, manuscripts, maps, periodicals, you name it. And you can also do a keyword search. For example, if I went to audio recordings, and let's say if I put in James Brown, just see what happens here. Okay. And I'll pull up in my results off the record interview, for example, with James Brown in 1988. If I click this here, then hopefully I should be able to listen to a taped interview with James Brown here, which is very interesting. I'm going to go back here to the Library of Congress. So take a look at the content, the PowerPoint presentation, part 1 and 2, A and B, and also pay attention to this video, and it'll help you with the assignments, but you will be left to explore, okay, some of the topics and the digital resources for the Library of Congress.